Hi guys, my name is Meads. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be an SH Monster Art review of Little Godzilla and Space Godzilla. I actually had Space Godzilla for quite some time now, and I thought that they're having Little Godzilla as an exclusive, kind of like what they have for the Garuda and the Mecha Godzilla, as well as those the airplanes and special effect parts for the first Godzilla. And little did I know that actually Little Godzilla is kind of like a standalone. It does have crystals, kind of works well with Space Godzilla, but it's on its own. And not to mention, it's not really an exclusive, since I've actually saw online US retailers having them. So here we go, and we'll start with Space Godzilla. I always like to start with a box, since you're not only buying a figure, you're also buying a box. So here we go. Start at the top, really great. It says Space Godzilla. Yep, and you see a little bit of a crest there. Has this really nice purple, and it's kind of like a marbled on the background. You have the face of Space Godzilla over there. A lot of logos: Tamashii Nations, Bandai. What else? Some Godzilla logos there. Let's see here, 994 Toho Pictures in 2012. The side here, a black and white SH Monsterarts Space Godzilla, and that thing's glittered. Using yellow because I'm using my yellow box as a stand. Really nice, and there's a kanji there. I'm not sure if that translates to Space Godzilla. On the back, pretty much gives you a good idea how detailed this figure is. Just the paint job, the sculpt, amazing. And I guess this is a bit of information about Space Godzilla. I wish I could read it. There's profile, comments. One day we'll be able to translate an instant like that. Hopefully. Anyways, that's it for the box. Alright, so we'll go start with the head, and we're just gonna go over the details, articulation, and here we go. So, Space Godzilla. You have this yellow clear, slightly, well, I wouldn't say that's orange, it's just a lot darker yellow for a crest. You have really nice, well, I guess it's yellowish eyes with a black outline. They have a really great tongue, really red. You have the teeth here, really nicely sculpted. And you have this huge crystals here, and actually the crystal just grows on the back, kind of like a coral reef going through his tail, and you have this spiky club at the end. And I have to say, this tail is very articulate, a lot more than the original Godzilla that they released. I'm saying original because they may have a other rendition of the Godzilla, like the upcoming exclusives. But yeah, really great articulation. So moving back here, you have a really nice underbelly, kind of like a heart that goes around under his tail. And it's really nice. It's kind of like that burgundy color, like a champagne red. Yep. Then you have the hands, very articulate too. You have a lot of bends you can twist. It's really great for the arm. I'm quite surprised for this one. Not to mention the legs. And this is what my number one complaint on the first Godzilla, and I think a lot of people too, is the figure is just too stiff that you cannot move or anything. It just wobbles. So I guess they're kind of going for that. Pretty much the first Godzilla it's like a statue, but this thing, you can move him, especially this leg. He can do a high kick. That is amazing. This one too. So your Godzilla, Space Godzilla, can actually sit down. and maybe do a split. That's just amazing and quite adorable in a menacing way. But or you can do pretty much a body slam. Let's see. Oh, let's have the high grade Gundam here. Like he's over here, unsuspectedly waiting for an opponent, and I think I just broke the shield. Oh no. What the heck happened to the shield? Anyways, so he's waiting for an enemy. Then all of a sudden, Space Godzilla jumps up in the air and pretty much body slam. There we go. Yeah, that's a cool pose. And you can have him body slam one of your other figures or mold kits. But yeah, that is amazing. And not to mention, you can bend the knees. Really great sculpt there. The foot has a swivel, and you can move this back. So you can have him like a running, dashing Space Godzilla. Oh, it's kind of like a tank, and maybe... yeah, it's just amazing. We can have him play basketball with his great articulation. Yep. So, again, really great. Now let's get to the accessories and special effect parts. So, kind of like Godzilla, you will have this, well, for Space Godzilla, kind of like a lightning bolt attack. Which is just spews lightning out of his mouth. And it's kind of erratic, it just shoots everywhere. But, you know, this is great. Again, you're gonna have this stand here to hold this, because this is kind of heavy. And can't really have it support on the mouth. I mean, you could have a peg. I mean, you could have created a peg that goes through, but that will look not so good inside the, you know, I mean, if you're looking inside. So, and this is not a bad idea, and it's more secure. And you do have crystal pillars here, which is kind of nice, but I'm not too sure of the. I mean, I wish they could have made this a little darker. Not just brown rocks. Yeah, I think it looks like there's crystal growing on top of a cookie. Yep. It looks kind of weird. Anyways, this is great. Lightning just pegs there. Very nice details. Yep. And actually, it's, you know, you can what do you call this? You can just use this stand for your other action figures also, or mold kits. Yep. I mean, it's the same Tamashii Stage Act. Alright, so that's that for this Space Godzilla review. I hope you guys liked it. And again, well, for me right now, this is the best SH Monsterarts that you can get, in my opinion, that is. Since it's a really great sculpt, it's a great representation of Space Godzilla. And what can I say? It's very articulate. It's, you know, worth the money you paid for it. You might see this for around $70-$90. 75 to 80 is the ongoing price for SH Monsterarts figures. I know they're expensive, but you know, I think this is one of the good exceptions that, you know, the detail that went through it, the gimmicks, the articulation is, you know, well worth paying that much. Alright, so time for a little Godzilla, and this is probably the opposite of Space Godzilla, which we'll go over. You know, not to mention, well, first of all, it is small, but let's just look at the box art. So we have green, says little Godzilla there, quite cute, and big eyes, yep, black and white. Things you can do with baby Godzilla and the crystals. So pretty much that's the gimmick, and I thought this might be the exclusive to accompany Space Godzilla, but again, it's not. And that's pretty much it for the box. So I'm gonna go open it and see what's inside. Alright, so here's little Godzilla. It's actually quite small. And a good size comparison is with a super deformed NT1 Alex. Alright! And I'm pretty sure NT1 Alex can kick little Godzilla's butt anytime. But that's just me. So anyways, here's a little cute guy. And no, he's not Yoshi, but probably looks like Yoshi. Really nice scaling. That's really amazing. Just all over. It feels really great. And that's another thing about this figures as this Monsterarts is, you know, you're not just looking at it, you're actually also feeling the figure and just feeling every scales. It gives you a bit more appreciation on the figure. The mouth does move a little bit up and down, not so much. Has a nice red tongue. But the eyes, it's all about the eyes. Let's zoom in, and there we go. Just look at those brown big eyes. It's like a solar eclipse. And just staring at you. Actually kind of taunting you, also. But yeah, again, look at the details of the scales. Really great. Articulation wise, sadly this one doesn't have a neck. It's all, the neck is fused. Why? You have a elbow articulation. You have a wrist movement. And yeah, pretty much arm. You do have a little bit of a torso movement here. So you can have him moving up and down. And I think, where's that joint? There was a joint that I just saw. Let's see if, oh, there we go. So you actually can have him stand up a little bit more. There's actually a joint right, whoops. And I didn't expect that to happen. But, yeah, there we go. So there is this joint right here that makes him move up and down. What do I do now? Do I put bloopers? Anyways, let's try to put back Godzilla if I can't. Uh-oh. There we go. I have him back. Finally. He's still alive. But yeah, if you push this all the way on the back, it looks awkward. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. The back, or the tail part, it does move side to side, but I think that's it. You can only swivel on that part. The legs, you can move it back. You have actually quite a nice knee articulation. Move back so you can have him running. You can also have him sit down. So just like his uncle, Space Godzilla. I'm not even sure if they're related, but they kind of look all alike. So you can have him sit down, which is great. Yep. And let's see, you can wiggle the foot if you want. Alright, so is effect part. Alright, effect parts. Yeah, I'm not too fond of these crystals. Actually, when I first saw them, they had that slight hint of kind of like glow in the dark green. And I thought for a second, like, wow, is it really glow in the dark? Is it? Let's turn off the lights. I guess not. Ah. Yeah, so that pretty much bummed me out. You know, thinking it will be glow in the dark and something special. I kind of wish it was glow in the dark. That would just made my day. but it's not. But you know, just looking at it, you have this kind of like brownish orange base, and it's nothing special. Doesn't say something about little Godzilla. Doesn't say anything about Godzilla at all. It's just Bandai there 2012. You pretty much just pegs it. It does have a swivel joint here, so you can move this down, have it branching off in different direction, and you have these little connectors here that you can use to combine them. There we go. And that's pretty much it. Just combine them and have little Godzilla right in the middle. So just like in the box art, you know, he's pretty much trapped. No. Yeah, not so good. Why don't we try Space Godzilla? Let's see, maybe it'll make things a lot better. If he can fit. That's another problem. Can he fit? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Not too shabby. It's actually not too bad. That's actually quite nice. You have crystals spring out of his foot, or the floor he walks in, so that's actually pretty good. And I just want to add this, you know, despite not having glow in the dark, why don't we try black light? Who knows? He might actually shine. So turn on the black light. As you can see here, there's a glow of blue there already. Or that could be just my camera. I mean, the crystals kind of glows, but it's probably just my camera bouncing off. There's a slight glow from me just looking at the figure, but you know, it's a nice gesture that you can actually pull that off. Yeah, actually, the back of Space Godzilla is really nice with that black light. So there is a slight glow if you have a black light, but you know, it's not overall pleasing. I actually still prefer if it's glow in the dark, because you know, glow in the dark, everyone can pull it off, but not everyone has a black light. Moving on, size comparison. I think it's about time to do a little size comparison. So Space Godzilla is pretty much, I would say, a third of the size of Space Godzilla, and why don't we bring Grand Old Daddy Godzilla? There we go. So obviously Godzilla will be slightly smaller compared to Space Godzilla. But yeah, you can have him holding old Junior's head. There we go. All right. But yeah, for Space Godzilla, awesome buy. Little Godzilla, quite disappointed. Also the fact that I paid about more than $50. If you're getting if you're getting Little Godzilla, I wouldn't spend more than $50. I think a good price point for Little Godzilla, I mean, you have an overall details and, you know, nice crystal gimmick on the back. Still, I would say, you know, a good price for it, $40. But more than likely, it's gonna be something around a price range of $50 to $60. Yeah, but I mean, you can pass out on Little Godzilla. I don't think little guy is gonna sell out. You know, unlike the first Godzilla, which I don't know if you can still get the first one with the special effect parts. You know, it's long gone. And that's another thing I don't understand. Why would you release Godzilla again without the atomic breath special effect part? Like, why? That doesn't make sense. So you just want to make the people who kind of jumped in on this train late feel bad? Like they didn't get the first edition one? I don't understand. I don't really understand. I mean, if you're gonna make some exclusive, it's more of an add-on of what to be expected already. And again, you know, I'm hoping they actually re-release Godzilla, this guy with more articulation, kind of like, Space Godzilla. I'll even think about buying that too. I'll just buy it just because he has better articulation. And who knows, they might put in a special gimmick or some sort. Who knows? But yeah, I think that's it about for my review. I want to add one more thing, and I just want to add this. Pretty much, don't feel bad if you're not getting a little Godzilla, because there's a good alternative for base. Pretty much, this is made by Kotobukiya. This is a diorama chain base, as you can see here, and this is number 3. It's pretty much a lunar, kind of like you're in a meteor or something, and it's a great space. You also have this cardboard that you can cut out from the box. It's a great display, and it's fitting for Space Godzilla. So yeah, I mean, it's a great alternative, pretty much. So there we go. That's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I would like to hear what your thoughts about this. Again, for me, Space Godzilla is the way to go. If you cannot find a regular Godzilla, but I'm sure it's out there, and you gotta have both. Pretty much, if you're gonna start out with this hobby, it's a great contrast, and you gotta have Godzilla. But for the little guy, again, you can pass on him unless you're a big fan of the little Godzilla or you just want to collect the whole line. But yeah, that's a heads up. You might be a little disappointed on little Godzilla. Well, at least for me, that is. Alright, so there we go. So until then, this is Meads. Thank you for watching. Monster Ball.